Hello and welcome to Chabot News for February 17th, 2016. I'm Jacob Alcazar. In today's news, Marco Rubio drops out of his Republican campaign. Esme will bring us the latest on Sony buying Michael Jackson's estate, and Victor will bring us the scoop on the Golden State Warriors and the Oakland Raiders. All that and more on Chabot College News. Last Friday, the Guinness World Records announced that the current oldest man on the planet is Israel Crystal. This man has lived through both world wars and survived a Nazi concentration camp in Auschwitz. As of March 16th, he is 112 years and 183 days old, making him the world's oldest living man after the previous record holder died in January at the age of 112 years, 312 days. He is the oldest person on Earth. However, since Susanna Machat Jones holds the record at 115, and in addition, she is also the world's oldest living woman. A suicide car bomb went off near the bus stops in the heart of Turkey's capital on Sunday, killing at least 34 people and wounding around 125 others. Two of the dead are believed to be the assailants. A senior government official told the Associated Press that police suspect that Kurdish militants carried out the attack, which occurred on Ankara's main boulevard, close to Ministries. The bombing was the third in the city in 5 months and came as Turkey is grappling with a host of issues, including renewed fighting with Kurdish rebels, threats from the Islamic State group, and Syrian refugee crisis. Moving on to different news, here is Catherine Golf, a recent report on children's concussion symptoms.
Each year, emergency departments across the United States treat about 750,000 children with concussions. For many patients, concussion-related symptoms resolve within 2 weeks of injury, but some go on to experience persistent symptoms. Johnny Coburn is back on the ice after being sidelined with a concussion.
It was a really bad headache, just really bad.
His parents watched him carefully. While his symptoms initially improved, after about a week, the headaches returned.
More than 50% of children that present to emergency departments will end up with headaches post-concussion.
Researchers have developed a new clinical score that may help predict which patients are at higher risk for these prolonged symptoms.
After they evaluated those 46 variables, they came up with 9 variables that were fairly predictive of post-concussive symptoms.
Clinical variables were used in a 12-point risk score. They included things like age, sex, history of migraines or depression, prior history of concussion, and problems with balance. Johnny says he's feeling much better. He doesn't have any more headaches and is back playing hockey.
I'm looking for playing with my team for a few years, playing really good hockey in college, and hoping that I get to the NHL.
The men's basketball coach at the University of California, Berkeley said Monday that he is moving to fire an assistant coach who violated the school's sexual harassment policy. Assistant coach Jan Hufnagel was suspended immediately pending termination proceedings and will not be traveling with the team during the upcoming NCAA men's basketball tournament. Hufnagel had been with the men's basketball team for 2 years. The allegations of sexual harassment first came to light last summer. An investigation then began in August. On Monday, the UC Berkeley Office of Harassment and Discrimination concluded that Hufnagel violated the university's sexual harassment policy. We took action immediately, and the employee was notified about intent to terminate immediately. UC Berkeley Associate Athletic Director of Strategic Communications, Wes Mallett, said. Marco Rubio is dropping out of the presidential race after losing the Florida primary to Donald Trump and failing to unite the Republican establishment against the billionaire frontrunner. We live in a republic, and our voters make these decisions, Rubio said in Miami Tuesday night as his supporters booed Trump's victory. America is in the middle of a real political storm, a real tsunami, and we should have seen this coming, Rubio said. While we are on the right side this year, we will not be on the winning side. Rubio, the 44-year-old first-term senator, had positioned himself as the only person who could stop Trump and had gone on the attack, memorably bringing up the size of Trump's hands during a campaign rally and at his presidential debate. His last stand came down to his home state of Florida, which was called for Trump as soon as polls closed at 8 p.m. Now, here's Esme with entertainment.
Thanks, Jacob. Sony has recently agreed to purchase Michael Jackson's music catalog for a whopping $750 million. According to multiple reports, the King of Pop's estate will sell its remaining stake in a lucrative music catalog to the Music Corporation. A definitive agreement is expected to be made by the end of the month, with the deal expected to close in the late 2016 or early 2017. According to Billboard, the Jackson estate will retain the 10% interest it holds in EMI Music Publishing and Majak Music that owns the songs written by Jackson. Plus, his master recordings, John McClain, one of Jackson's estate co-executors, said that this transaction is considered one of the smartest investments in music history. Speaking of music, electronic music duo Cruella hosted a party at MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas.
During their residency at MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Chicago-based electronic duo Cruella hosted a private performance in an elevator. Fans were preparing for their performance that night, but what they didn't expect was to party with the world-renowned Cruella. To surprise fans, got to have fun with the two female DJs alongside some costume performers, putting together an unforgettable moment for the hotel's elevator riders. Reporting for Chabot TV, this is Florido Maniego.
In other news, Frank Sinatra's 100th birthday was also celebrated in Las Vegas. Jacob will now give us the latest on this story.
Las Vegas, the home of iconic venues and stages up and down the Strip. There's only one man that truly encapsulates the adult playground, and that is Frank Sinatra. December 12th marks what would have been his 100th birthday. Las Vegas made sure that Sinatra's presence was felt and also celebrated. The legendary performer's daughter and granddaughter weigh in on his impact and their experiences with Frank Sinatra in Las Vegas.
I was, as I said, about 7, and it was a lot of, oh, so this is what Dad is doing when he's not home. I was grasping the magnitude of his importance in the world, even at that age, because it was the reverence and the reaction of all those strange people.
He loved being in Las Vegas. He loved the people, and like I said, he had so many friends here, good friends. And
Frank Sinatra is surely missed and loved in Las Vegas. Happy birthday, old blue eyes.
Today, wrestling fans around the world are stomping mud holes, drinking beer, and probably raising hell, as today is Austin 316, which is a celebration of the career of retired professional wrestler Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin 316 isn't just a tagline. This phrase that Austin created at the 1996 King of the Ring event in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is what set his career into orbit. When asked how he feels about this celebration, the WWE Hall of Famer and 6-time world heavyweight champion had this to say: "I really appreciate the recognition from the fans. What I accomplished in the squared circle, now go out and have some fun." And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Before we get back to Jacob, we have a commercial from Stone Cold himself.
Hey, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin here to tell you SOBs about the 500 years of the purity law of beer. This beer was first made in a Bavarian city in Germany by the Dukes of Wellham. The purity law was issued on April 23rd of 1516. A lot of different ingredients go into making this beer, such as water, barley, yeast, and rabbit food pellets. If that sounds like a lethal combination, give me a hell yeah. You talk about your Psalms, you talk about your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, if you're ever in this part of Germany, come get some of this Kelger beer, the best beer on the planet. And if not, go order it off that thing they call that there internet. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Hillary Clinton's triumphant victory speech Tuesday night sent a clear message to Donald Trump. Bring it on. The former Secretary of State emerged from Super Tuesday 3 with at least 4 key victories in Ohio, Illinois, Florida, and North Carolina, and roughly 300 more delegates than her Democratic rival, Bernie Sanders. In Missouri, Clinton has a narrow lead over her rival. though the race is still too close to call. We are moving closer to securing the Democratic Party nomination and winning this election this November, Clinton said in her victory speech to supporters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Because of all of you and our supporters across the country, our campaign has earned more votes than any other candidate, Democrat or Republican. Now, here is Victor with this week's sports report.
Thanks, Jacob. The Golden State Warriors' quest to beat the Chicago Bulls' NBA record for most consecutive wins continued with last night's Monday night win against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Dubs improved their record to 60-6 and are still undefeated at home with 49 consecutive wins at Oracle Arena. The Warriors blew out the Pelicans 125-107 with Steph Curry's 27 points and Klay Thompson's 18 points. The bench highly contributed to the team as well by scoring a total of 55 points. Prior to the game, the Warriors have also clinched the Pacific Division after their win against the Phoenix Suns, which is certainly another major feat for the reigning and defending NBA champions. The Oakland Raiders boost their roster with their first few days of free agency. To improve this offense, the team signed former Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman Kaleki Assembly. The team also vamped its struggling defense with the addition of former Seahawk linebacker Bruce Irving and former Kansas City Chiefs defensive linebacker Sean Smith. With the big signing so far, the Raiders are beginning to look like the favorites from the AFC West and are set to improve their roster even more with the upcoming NFL draft next month. Now back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Victor. Finally this week, a new species of a tyrannosaur adds to the fearsome group of dinosaurs to which a Tyrannosaurus rex belonged to. Scientists found its 90-million-year-old bones in the harsh deserts of Uzbekistan. The newly described species, Timurlangia erotica, is an oddball. The horse-sized dinosaur resembles earlier, smaller Tyrannosaurus. Yet its large brain and advanced ears, their outlines preserved in a skull fragment mirror those of later Tyrannosaurus, mainly like the famous T-Rex. Timurlangia is truly a curveball, says Thomas Carr of Carthage College, who wasn't involved with the study. I had to readjust the way I thought about a Tyrannosaurus. It's a weirdo. Well, that's it for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned for KCTH 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.